What, if anything, would you do to increase student, family, and community power to set direction and change practices at individual schools?
Well, the only way that I know to increase power is to share power. I am a trained community organizer, and this is exactly what I'm about, is community empowerment. I mentioned that I'm running because of the educational debt, and really, in my opinion, what is the gap or the debt, if not a gap of power? Education and empowerment is really the key. I would listen, I would learn, and I would assist in collectively finding a roadmap toward educational equity and excellence for all of our children.
I came on the school board in 2011. One of the things that Director Arneson and I did was start a board community engagement committee. We felt like it was integral into the strategic plan, but there was not intentional work around it. And so we have created a more intentional structure from the Office of Family, Community, and Parent Student Engagement down to the site level, where we have parent liaisons working with the school community, and typically they're hired within the community, so they understand the kids and families that are at that school. It has not been a perfect process. It has been underfunded. Our staff, a lot of are half-time, so what I'm advocating for is full-time group of people to support the work, because they almost work as the ombudsman, and they also work to do things like our CPEO, Connecting Parents to Educational Opportunities, help parents learn how to advocate for their child. We also currently are working on the site governance policy, which will empower governance at the site level, which of course includes parents being involved in the schools, and looking at schools as more community hubs as opposed to a building that's open from 8 to 3 and closes its doors will go a long way to building that community buy-in and parent outreach.
I think we need to take a look at the needs of individual schools and make sure that the communication levels are open and not so top-down where it's administration, then it goes to teachers and staff, and then it's disseminated to parents. I think we need to have a broader-based approach to it, where administration can communicate directly with parents, and teachers can communicate directly with parents, parents with teachers, almost to the point where it makes it like a triangle type of communication system instead of just top-heavy where it's down, 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 and by the time the information is disseminated to parents, such as myself, it doesn't contain the meat and potatoes of the actual information that parents need to know what's going on in the schools, as well as the community in general.
Well, one thing is I would set limits on the power of the superintendent to unilaterally make changes in schools, which is pretty much the case now. There was a change in policy a number of years ago where the principals went from having job protections like teachers to having to being employed at will. They serve at the pleasure of the superintendent, and they've been doing kind of strange things in the high poverty schools where they have a choice, where they've had a choice between experienced teachers versus inexperienced teachers to fill positions. They've chosen the inexperienced teachers, and in one school, first and second year teachers constitute the majority of the of the teaching force. Very, very strange. There was a time before forced now there was policy that's known as forced placement, where the teachers, where if you had experienced teachers who were had been displaced for one reason or another, the positions had to be filled with these teachers before hiring inexperienced teachers. And what's happened is that the inexperienced teachers are being hired by high poverty schools. The experienced teachers are being hired by low poverty schools. So that change in policy action, or those changes in policy, are making things worse in the district, I think.
Yeah. Parents, teachers, and school leaders know what is best for the school and their community. In my experience, I made the best decisions as a school administrator when I had the most input from teachers, parents, and students. As a board member, I want to empower school leaders, teachers, parents to be able to set their own practices and have the ability to lead at the site-based level.